Welcome back, everybody. We are doing social studies once again. And right now I have my social studies notebook and a pencil out, and we are going to go ahead and take notes on our next topic for social studies. So social studies, in our social studies, we just finished European exploration and then European explorers, where we talked about De Vaca, La Salle, and Coronado. Now, I kind of accidentally recorded another video before I recorded this one, so my table of contents is going to be a little different than yours. So where I've written for motivation for exploration, you are going to write down La Salle and La Belle. This is going to be on my page 24. This will be one ahead of yours, and then when we do the motivation video, you guys will just have to remember in your heads that this is going to go after the La Belle and La Salle. So La Belle and La Salle. La Salle is the explorer that we talked about last. He was the only explorer that we had that came from, oops, let me go find it here. I know it's in here somewhere. Exploration for motivation, Sieur de La Salle. So he was our only explorer that we had from France. He found the Mississippi River, and his life was so crazy, and he was such a terrible leader that his own people ended up killing him to try and make their lives a little bit better. It did not work out very well for them. And today we're actually going to not do that one. That one's next time. We're going to start talking about La Salle and La Belle. So La Salle is the name of our explorer, and La Belle is the name of his ship. Now, if you remember correctly, Sal's ship went down. He hit a hurricane, and yet again in the Gulf of Mexico, and they sank off of Matagorda Bay, which is actually, I thought it was north of here, but it's really actually pretty far south of here and a lot closer to Mexico than I realized. And the way I realized that is through this lovely poster. So we are right here where this little dip is in the Texas coast. That's usually considered Houston. And then La Salle arrives in Matagorda Bay, and this little triangle that my mouse is on is where they found his shipwrecked La Belle. You guys do have access to this poster in the School of Geo assignment, so if you guys want to go ahead and open that up at some point, you can look at this too and kind of read through and see some interesting things. So hopefully you've also already watched that video, and there's a couple of things I want to make sure that I have you guys write down. So hopefully you've watched that video on the La Belle that went down, and there were two pieces of information. I'm going to grab my other notes and bring them so I can see them. Two pieces of information that you really needed to pay attention to. So that first one is in 1995, archaeologists started searching for La Belle. Now, the awesome thing about this is, like, they started looking for it, and almost the very first place they looked, they found it, which was amazing, especially since people had been looking for La Salle's ship for hundreds of years and never once found it. And these archaeologists are like, here's some old maps. We'll take a look, and maybe he landed, like, right about here. And sure enough, that's exactly where they ended up finding him. Whenever they started looking in for that ship, they found a bronze cannon. They found some nails that the colonists planned to use to build houses. They found some pottery. And they found a bunch of cannonballs. Obviously, if you have a cannon, it's not going to be any good if you don't have cannonballs. And then eventually the archaeologists finished bringing out the ship in 1997. They actually tried a new method of bringing out the ship, and nobody had ever tried something like that before. and it worked so well that they kind of became famous for it. So brought out ship in 1997. Okay, so these are all from the movie. I'm just gonna make a little note of that to remind myself. These are all movie notes right here. And then the rest of our notes on this page are going to end up coming from that lovely little poster we just had over, or that I just showed you, regarding La Belle and La Salle and what was going on. So in the poster, let's go ahead and pull that up again really quick. So in the poster, there's a lot of information, and I'm going to kind of condense it down for you guys. But I really, really suggest that you go back and read it because there's some really interesting things in there. But basically, when he was getting to Texas, La Salle had a map, but it wasn't a very good map. And he was supposed to be coming for the Mississippi Bay, which is right here. And his map was so bad that he ended up 300 miles down here. And so instead of being in the Mississippi River where there were other French colonies already starting, he ended up down here. So again, when I made my La Salle video last time, I was thinking he was a little bit closer to the Mississippi River and he had started helping establish that French colony, but apparently he was a little bit further south and closer to Mexico than even I realized. So everybody learned something new today. So getting to Texas, I'm going to make that a capital E. Getting. All right, now I can write. Getting to Texas. So one of the things we need to remember, I'm not a huge stickler for dates, but we do need to pay attention to them sometimes and make sure that we write them down so we can go back and look at them if we need them later on. So they left in 1684 from France, and they were heading for Mississippi. Mississippi. All right, so they left in 1864 for Mississippi. And like I said, La Salle's map was so incorrect that they ended up 300 miles from where they were supposed to be. Further south. All right, so again, you guys are welcome to pause. This is probably about the time that if you were in class with me, I'd give you guys a wait time and kind of give you about 15, 20 seconds to catch up to me. So if you are not caught up to me, feel free to hit pause. There's no big deal with it. No shame in writing neatly and making sure you have it all written down. So not only, oh, you know what? I am not sharing my screen. That probably would help you. Okay, so now you should probably hit pause and write down getting to Texas, left in 1684 for the Mississippi River, and then La Salle's map was so incorrect, he ended up 300 miles further south than where he was supposed to be. Okay, the next section is going to be living in Texas. So when you get the chance to go back and look at that poster board, when he was planning on living in Texas, when he was planning on coming to the United States with his, or sorry, not the United States, the Americas, because we weren't a country yet. La Salle was actually planning to trade with the the American Indians. So wanted to trade with American Indians for different goods. And if you guys remember, this is in the coastal plains region, and hopefully you guys remember what the name of the group or the American Indian group that lived in the coastal plains. All right, so life was really hard. They did not have an easy time of it. First of all, they were in the wrong spot. They had a shipwreck, so they lost a lot of their resources, and a lot of their people died because of weather. So there was bad weather that killed them, like a hurricane. Disease. So many of them got sick because they didn't have medicine or good doctors around. And poor diet. This means they weren't eating enough food or enough of the right food. So when your parents tell you to eat your vegetables, there's a very good reason for it. Not only that, those American Indian groups they're hoping to trade with were not in the mood for trading. And that would be the Karankawa. Their Karankawa eventually attacked. So they started trading a little bit and then they didn't get anything. And the Karankawa were not happy with the settlers there. So they eventually attacked Fort St. Louis and killed everyone except a few children. And they ended up adopting those children. All right. Again, if you have not caught up or kept up with me writing, please feel free to go ahead and click pause, and you guys can use that pause button as kind of a wait time in order to catch up with where I'm at. So be ready to discuss La Salle and La Belle. You guys will have a daily grade on this very soon, so make sure you are ready to go for that and get your discussion post done before you finish for social studies today.